Today I've decided to play a new Jack Black song from the Mario movie, Peaches, on the actual Peaches. Hey, my name is Anton, and on this channel I'm gonna play songs and weird stuff. Please like this video because it really helps it to get recommended more frequently. Let's go.
So first I went shopping to get some tasty juicy peaches. Unfortunately, when I asked about them, I got this.
Извините, а персиков у вас нет? Да. Сезон? Может быть потом посмотрим.
I was surprised. My trip to another bigger store was also unsuccessful, and I tried to buy them online. And guess what?
I looked in every single store of my city, but there were no peaches anywhere. Cherry, please. Pineapples, of course. All sorts of berries, no problem. Even freaking dragon fruit. Why? Well, I probably should have listened to my biology teacher better at school, because peaches turned out to be very season sensitive and available only since mid-June. Yes, Jack Black somehow got them in his music video. I guess he remembers his tutorial from Kung Fu Panda. But as you can tell, I'm not Jack Black. I know we look identical.
I didn't want to surrender, and I simply bought everything which was at least a little peach related in the whole area.
So, I got this marmalade, which I've already eaten. Got these canned peaches with syrup, and these dried ones too, and also some dried bits. Here they are. How I'm gonna make a song out of all that? No idea, but at least I'm not gonna starve to death.
To make it even more challenging, I'm gonna give myself a deadline of 1 hour for the whole song, and if I won't manage to make it recognizable, I'm gonna drink this glass of syrup in just one take.
It's so sweet.
Let's record.
So, to get a melody, we should keep in mind that there are generally two types of sounds, melodic and non-melodic.
Their difference is that first ones have a certain definite pitch, their fundamental frequency, plus overtones, which are basically all frequencies above the fundamental one. By the way, the overtones, which are positive integer multiples of the fundamental, are called harmonies, and sound particularly pleasant for our hearing.
An example of a melodic sound is, let's say, a guitar string. Any note, like this A flat, for example, has a fundamental frequency. With A flat, it's
59.91 Hertz.
or a positive integer multiple of that amount, depending on the octave. Twice as much being also an A flat, but exactly 1 octave higher. Twice as much this is this, also an A flat, 1 octave higher, and I can go on forever. Besides the fundamental frequency, the sound has other overtones, especially if I play the whole chord, but it's very clearly an A flat. So if I want, I can sample it and make a melody, which would be totally recognizable. However, the problem with playing on peaches is that if you hit them, squeeze them, drop them, rub them, etc., you will always get a non-melodic sound with indefinite pitch. And if you sample such a sound, let's take this one, for example. You can also play it, kind of. I mean, I can create a sampler, put it into it, cut it, do all the necessary things, but it doesn't give us any clear notes. We can only hear the difference in pitch between any two of them. Played after each other, but no Charlie Puth in the world could ever clearly identify this as a certain note, because it's not one. So let's try to make some melodic ones.
The first thing that came to my mind is to try to drill a hole in the pit and try to make a flute out of it. Usually, to make a flute, you need to have a tube which has a small leak to the outside world and a tiny sharp edge dividing them. In this case, I simply made 2 holes, a big one through the whole pit and a smaller one as a second way for air to escape at the very end of the first one, creating a sort of crossroads inside, and played it. Yeah, not great, but at least we have something. I picked the closest to normal part of this hole was the nightmare of a recording and attempted to use flex pitch to tune it to one note instead of a whole melody that it is originally. Unfortunately, Logic Pro could not detect its pitch at all. I tried to use the built-in Autotune copycat. It wasn't helpful also. So then I tried to use the Vocal Bender plugin, which has one of the best pitch correction algorithms out there. But that didn't work all that well either. Seems like a hopeless situation, but I always have a plan B. I sampled it right away and cut it so short that the sound literally had no space to wiggle around and stayed on the same pitch. More or less. I also used the Vocal Bender for an even better effect. After that, I spent about 20 minutes creating different kinds of synths out of this sound by adding guitar amps, saturators, EQing them in various stupid ways, and also, most importantly, making different versions of the original sound by looping different parts of it, even though I knew they would mostly play the same part. Double tracking, or layering, is always very important in music production. So the song itself is an A sharp minor and is very simple musically. Basically it's 4 chords, the 6th, the 7th, the dominant, and falls into tonic. The progression isn't all that unique.
Which is interesting because this song is fire. I mean, even besides all the crazy amount of Jack Black's charisma, the melody and harmonies are easily distinguishable from any other song and get stuck in your head. That's amazing. So anyway, I have 20 minutes left and this is what I've managed to assemble yet. Interestingly, I think it sounds very much like trash. I mean, like trap. It's not what I originally intended, but I don't have any time to remake it, so let's assume I was going to make a trap version of the Peaches song from the beginning. So, if we make trap, what do we need? A lot of flanger, delay, pads. The most important part is a fire beat. Alright, I tried my best to make a good trap beat because the original song obviously has no drums in it, so this is the best that I could come up with. Yeah, I think it sounds pretty neat.
In the last 10 minutes, I rapidly changed the original kick drum sound for a sound of hitting one dread pitch with another, added some EQ, my favorite drum plugin with a kick drum preset, and got this. I also took this sound and turned it into a snare, using the same plugin and also EQing a little, or rather a lot. Do I need a lot IQ to know how to use EQ? Not really, because I took the sound of a can lid, removed everything below 4000 Hz, and got myself a pretty cool and believable hi-hat. I mean, that sounds okay. And since we're making trap, we need a clap sound. Luckily, the sound of cutting pitch in half sounds exactly like it. Well, it really doesn't, but I was in such a rush at the moment that got excited about this sound and left it in the final song anyway. Whatever, it's not that bad. Finally, I also used the sound of a can lid to create a pad. I had to really use all of my brain cells and ear cells to define its pitch, but I'm pretty sure that it was B flat, not 100% sure still. Then I sampled it and put a lot of delay on top.
Okay, I have no time left. I finished in such a rush that I couldn't even turn on my camera at the right moment, but never mind. The point is, it is finished, and now I won't have to drink that thing. Now I think I'll master it a little so that it won't be a disaster for you to listen to and show you the final result. Write in the comments below what song and on what object should I play next. And subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.
Привет, it's Anton's Russian Mafia cousin speaking. If you don't subscribe to this channel, you'll regret it.